elements of singing in a more operatic style for singers who aren't classically trained. If you are, you already know this, and it probably comes very naturally to you. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video. If you enjoyed this video, click the like button. It'll really help us out. If you're not a classically trained singer, but you want to sing an aria for fun or just explore this style, these are the main elements of operatic style that differ from contemporary singing. First, and this is specific to higher voices, sopranos, mezzos, and altos, you're almost always using head voice and mix. Pure chest voice or speaking voice is pretty rare and reserved for very low pitches. For example, an E-flat 4, that's this pitch, is low enough that most higher voice singers would default to chest voice for this without thinking. Ah. But with a more operatic style, you'll probably mix this. Ah. It's worth mentioning that even if you're an alto, you won't be singing arias in a range as low as contemporary altos. Once the melody goes down to middle C or lower, chest voice is usually acceptable. Get used to singing low in head voice with slides on an oo or an e. Ooh, ee, taking it down into the range where you would usually use chest voice. I like descending 1 half step at a time, like this. So we're going to start on G4. Ooh, slide a half step down, then restart and do it again. Ooh, and so on. Ooh. So try this with me. See if you can stay in head voice or mix without dropping into your speaking voice. Okay, G4 to start. Here we go. Ooh. Restart. Ooh. 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 This is where a lot of people want to be in chest voice, but don't. So oo or e, whichever works better for you. E. Ready? E. 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 Can you keep going? E. Now we're below middle C here, so you could be in chest voice even if you're singing a classical song, but it's a really good exercise to take that head voice function as low as you possibly can. Another element of operatic singing is free vibrato. Whereas vibrato in contemporary music is more of an effect at the end of sustained notes or phrases, vibrato is a crucial element of classical technique. Listen to the difference and tell me which sounds more operatic to you. Caro mio ben, credimi almen. Versus Caro mio ben, credimi almen. Obviously, the one with more vibrato sounds a little more operatic than the one without. Operatic singing also tends to use a lifted soft palate. Listen to that same example, first with a lifted palate. Caro mio ben. And now with a lowered palate. Caro mio ben. The soft palate, if you're not familiar, is at the back of the roof of your mouth. So the roof of your mouth, that's your hard palate, and just behind that is your soft palate. If you look in the mirror, the uvula, or that little dangly thing, hangs down from your soft palate. You can experiment with a lifted palate by making a K sound while inhaling instead of exhaling. So instead of k, k, inhale. K, k. And you're going to feel some space created in the back of your mouth above your throat. K, k, k. Then try to maintain that lifted space and sigh. So we're going to go K inhale and then sigh. Ah. Listen to the tone quality that results, and you have a good idea of what a lifted palate does for your tone. It's generally more spacious, rounder, and less bright or nasal. It can sound a little bit yawny if we overdo it. Oh, if you're pairing that with a lowered larynx. But speaking of tone quality, operatic singing often does employ a lower larynx than contemporary styles. So your larynx or Adam's apple, that houses your vocal folds, and singing with a lower larynx elongates the space in which your sound wave can vibrate. A bigger container results in a darker tone quality. Your larynx is very low when you yawn. See if you can almost make yourself yawn and then make noise at the same time. So almost yawning. Oh. Slightly dopey sounds can help you get used to singing with a lower larynx. So for example, gee 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 gee, dopey dark, bo 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 bo. Of course, these are exaggerated sounds, so we don't live there forever, but if you're not used to that lower larynx and more space, this can help you. Finally, operatic style requires lots of long legato phrases. Legato means smooth and connected. Contemporary singing tends to be much more conversational. Phrases might be broken up, and you have more flexibility around where to breathe. With an aria, the melodic line is very important and not to be broken. Long exercise patterns that challenge your breath capacity and control are a great way to train for this. I also recommend singing the melody on a vowel rather than lyrics to connect to each legato phrase. So for example, with Caro mio ben, we might sing and then try to keep that connection when we add lyrics back. Caro mio ben, credi mio men. Thank you for watching and have fun trying this out. What would you like to see more of? Let us know in the comments. Visit 30daysinger.com for easy step-by-step singing lessons.